What is happening, everybody? We are back with another reaction video, and we'll be reacting to Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse trailer dos. Now, I've been looking forward to this. Well, I wouldn't say like I'm over enthusiastic about it, but one of my favorite heroes is Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Not necessarily in that order, but those are like the top for me. Well, and Nightcrawler. I always like Nightcrawler. Wolverine, but not. Anyway, those are my top. Anyway, that if something was on, I like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. And this is an animated movie, which I always liked. Well, most of the animated stuff from either Marvel or DC. I know they don't usually get a whole lot of play, especially being in getting a feature film was going to be released in theaters. But they giving this, Sony's taking this shot. They like, we can't use Spider-Man because he's an MCU, but we can try to make as much money off as we can. We get some of the money from Marvel doing it, and we're gonna do our own thing and try to get money as well from that. I haven't been hearing good things about Venom, but I like the trailers and the TV spots and stuff, so that's why I usually based on whether I'm gonna see a movie or not. It's the advertisement, not what reviews say, critics or people who went to the premiere or whatever. I care less because fans are fickle, So I'm gonna go by what I want to look with the advertisement and says, "Oh, it looks cool," so I'll go see it, and then I'll make my own decision on whether or not I think it's like not based on what somebody else says. But sorry, it is warm in here. The temperature spiked today, so it was like hot. So I got like two fans. I'm sorry, the fan behind me just got a loud. Wasn't gonna turn it down. I already turned one of my other fans off, so because that was way too loud. But I was like, I said that's not getting turned on. But anyway, let's get into this trailer. Hopefully it's good. I have seen some comments about it that people love, but they could be just biased opinion. People who say anything from Spider-Man is great. But, here we go.
My name is Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. I saved the city.
I like this Spider-Man 2 rip. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
Look, I'm a comic book, a cereal, I did a Christmas album.
And he ain't getting none of that money.
But this isn't about me.
Because he's still broke as hell.
Spider-Man swings in once a day, zip zaps up in his little mask and answers to no one. I love you, Miles.
Yeah, I know that.
You gotta say I love you back.
Dad, are you serious?
I wanna hear it.
Look at this place.
Dad, I love you.
Dad, I love you.
That's a copy.
Oh, that's fucked up.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm the one and only Spider-Man. At least that's what I thought.
You ever hear of the Super Collider? You're gonna love this.
Dimension opening now.
King.
You're like me.
That's impossible.
Alright, kid, listen up. This fry is your universe. Soggy, it's weird, it's gross. And this delicious normal fry is my universe. So you want to learn to be Spider-Man.
Can you teach me?
Yes, I can. Time to swing. Good, you're doing it. Double tap to release and whip it out again.
Okay.
Whip.
And release.
You're an natural. Whip.
Hey guys,
Who are you?
I'm Gwen Stacy. I'm from another
Yo.
dimension.
How many more spider people are there?
Hey, fellas.
The shadows.
Could literally not get
I know it's
weirder.
filmed noir, like noir Spider.
Get weirder.
Oh my god, Spider
Okay.
Pig. Spider Pig. Spider Pig. Knows whatever a Spider Pig is.
lives in Brooklyn.
Miles, what's wrong?
This was never your city.
Black Panther? Is that what that was?
It's mine.
If I don't destroy the collider, none of us will have
He's gonna disappear like Marty
What
McFly.
makes you different
Let's go.
is what makes you Spider-Man.
I always like that big stupid Green Goblin. Look like a fucking dragon.
Wait, what?
That way, that way. Other way.
Is that supposed to... These silk.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
Got the black stuff. Oh, that was pretty good. I mean, I still like. I mean, it didn't lower my expectations or raise them. It still was pretty middle of the road. I noticed that's my reaction every time. I'm just middle of the road. I don't let myself get too excited about things because if you don't let yourself get too hype, you'll never be disappointed. I like that they introduced Spider Pig. I always liked Spider Pig. That was funny. I was like, why a pig? Then I was like, well, I guess in the world where, if I remember correctly, isn't everybody a pig in that world? Or is it just like, instead of humans, it's just animals? And he just happens to be a pig. I guess they thought, the creators probably thought that was fucking hilarious. So he just went, I'm gonna go with Spider Pig. And the girl, I'm guessing she's, at first I thought she was Silk. But she kind of just looks like an anime character. So it could just be from a universe, and she's like, they kind of like playing with anime, and she's like a young girl. But I love that he punched that car. I love that. I've been saying about Spider-Man for years. I mean, I was saying that since the 90s with the TV show, the cartoon. I was like, why is everybody stronger than Spider-Man? Like, come on. Like, I remember in the TV show, Blade was stronger than Spider-Man. Morbius, Kraven the Hunter. Like, everybody was stronger than him. I'm like, come on. Like, why is everybody stronger than Spider-Man? Like, you can't say he's this strong. He has this level of strength. And everybody he comes across is strong. I'm like, golly. I mean, I know he's the hero and you can't make it like he's too powerful with a villain. Just gets knocked around or whatever. But, like, I was like, come on. They could at least be, you know, they could, this show was more evenly matched. Now, I ain't saying, like, someone like Rhino has to be, like, evenly matched. I mean, of course, you get your villains who are, you know, way more powerful than he is. Of course, you got to have those. But, like, why is every villain stronger that was on that show? It's like everyone. Even, like, Dr. Octopus seemed like he was strong as well. Like, give me a break with this. And they're like, come on, and then they, you know, of course, like every comic book character, he's as strong as really the plot is concerned. So, you know, now they got Spider-Man lifting up fucking daily bugles now and shit, but he still lose to somebody like Captain America. Like, oh, well, Captain America's a better fighter. I don't give a fuck who's a better fighter. That's like saying, oh, Batman could be Superman because he's a better fighter than Superman. So, like, someone who has Spider-Man's strength could do this to Captain America and his head would just fly off. Like, I don't care what anybody said. I don't even fuck about that. They could try to milk that or say, like, oh, well, it makes sense this one. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You can try to push that shit all you want, it doesn't. And then they have, I like the older Peter Parker. I always like the older Peter Parker. Everyone wants the fucking teenage kid Peter Parker. I'm like, oh, I'm tired of that. Maybe maybe that's the younger generation who wants that. I don't know. But I know me, I was tired of that even when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. I was like, I'm getting tired of this kid Peter Parker. Because I remember in the cartoon, he was only in high school. I don't even think he was in high school the whole entire first season. I think he was in high school like part of it, and then he went to college. Like, he was like a junior or senior or something like that. And they basically did the same thing like they did with the movie. Like, he was like a senior or something in high school for like the first scene, basically, a few scenes, and then he was in college and basically an adult. Like, I don't know, it was kind of confusing. Kind of like, is it a time jump or is he like the same age? Just like, this is just he graduated from high school. His summer passed, and now he's in college that next school year. But it's the same year, you know, type of thing. But that's what I'm talking about. He punched that car. I was like, just come on. I'm tired of the struggle with Spider-Man. Oh, I can barely lift it. Like, even the Spider-Man game where he like lifts a car off of, I've seen some clips where he lifts a car off of, I guess, a trapped civilian. I'm like, why is he like he's struggling? I just want him to pick that car and just flip and it goes flying out. Like I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. Oh, he's so weak, and I'm also tired of the pulling the punch thing. I mean, I know for you know, the look, it has the look appealing. So they have Spider-Man fight us in a way and say he pulls his punches, even though he's throwing a haymaker. Like, how do you pull a haymaker? Like, he's going full force like this and hitting a human being. But he pulled his punch. Like, no, he didn't. No. I'd rather them do some shit like I remember reading something. I don't know if this was official from DC or a fan that did, but it looked so well done. It could have been DC, but it was saying like since the since the Crisis of Infinite Earths thing event in DC, when they brought all the worlds together, the planet got bigger. Thus the gravity got heavier. So that would mean the humans, like, where kind of everything was sped up to make them evolve to where their muscles and bones are denser to help them support themselves over that type of gravity. It's kind of like the same thing they say with I know they started saying with Superman, like Kryptonians, like their gravity was a lot denser, heavier on Krypton. So the Kryptonians are naturally stronger than humans already. Then of course they get in sunlight, they get even stronger. But just naturally they're stronger because they're from a planet where the gravity is heavy, so they have denser muscles and bones to help support their bodies on that planet. And I remember looking at that. They were trying to say that about DC. That's why, like, humans in that world seem to be able, with even a little bit of training, can just become super badasses and just do, like, look at Batman. Like, the dude weighs like 220 pounds, but he can somehow lift like 1,000 pounds and shit. Like, he doesn't have the muscle mass to be able to do that. You know, it's kind of like the whole Bruce Lee, when people say, "Oh, Bruce Lee could lift." Like, it always gets higher and higher every time I hear someone talk about it. Oh, he could bench press 200 pounds and he could lift 300 pounds and he could kick a 800-pound punching bag and they, fly, hit the ceiling. And then, but then it was like no human that we've seen has ever done that. That's Bruce Lee's weight. And so they said, well, Bruce Lee was a freak, because you can't prove it. So he was a freak in nature, and it would never be able to happen again. He just was genetically superior to all the humans ever. So that's why the man weighed like 132 pounds or something, but he can lift like 3 times his weight. I was like, I've never seen that way. Like, please show me an example of somebody weighing that much, lifting as much as one of those guys who, on those like powerlifting teams, they call those guys. Those guys would be like lifting fucking 2 cars and shit, like like deadlifting like 2 small like cars, like Volkswagen and shit. Like, but anyway, but Spider-Man, he's supposed to be strong. And before, I know he was like, he going to do like 10,000 pounds or something, or 12,000 if he really pushed himself. Now he's like, well, it's up to interpretation. Whoever's writing the story basically says why he's doing that, or why all of a sudden he can do that. I hate when they do that in the story, though, where in the story, like, oh, he doesn't seem that strong at the beginning, but then all of a sudden he's like 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 times stronger all of a sudden. That always irritated me. I'm like, keep his strength a certain level. You're gonna write a story, keep his strength a certain level, and then don't go too high. Like, I can see he's adrenaline's pumping or whatever, and say, oh, he can now, instead of lifting, like, he seemed like he was struggling kind of lifting a SUV, but he was able to, like, he picked up like an 18-wheeler and flipped it on the side. He was really pushing himself, so the adrenaline stopped pumping. He was able to knock it over on the side. But don't be like, oh, he's struggling to push over an SUV, But then by the end of the story, he lifts a fucking skyscraper or some shit, or holds it up, which doesn't make sense anyway. But still, it's a comic book, not really supposed to make sense. But I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense in the rules that you give in your story. Any story has to have a certain set of rules in it, unless you introduce magic, then you can do whatever. But if there's not magic involved or some type of cosmic force, which is basically magic too, like anything that like power cosmic, you might as well just say that's magic, like because it can do anything and it changes between whoever possesses it. But if you're going to do a story, keep it in a scope of what the real reality of your story. Don't just, like I said, don't just randomly switch it. Like I said, Spider-Man depends on who's writing it. In previous stuff, he hasn't been that strong, or it hasn't seemed like he's that strong because his villains haven't been that strong. They're more equal ground. And then they say, well, we want him to fight fucking Doctor Doom or some shit. Like, or we want him to go kind of toe to toe with the Thing, but we don't want the Thing to outclass him. So Spider-Man's going to use his speed and agility, but he's also going to be able to knock the Thing out by just going full force and knocking him out. And people like, some people are like, what the fuck? Now if in the story, he displayed that type of strength. Like, he goes full force, he knocks the Thing out. But let's say they say, oh, he broke his hand or some shit. You know, in that story, if he can do that, then he can do that. But don't make it like, oh, he can barely lift a car over his head, but then he can punch and knock the Thing out. You know, who takes punches from the Hulk? You know, so they don't say if you change that in the story that you've already established rules for. Then we'll just write that off and just change the rules and end the story. I never liked that. I always thought that was stupid. But in this, it seemed like Spider-Man. I've always wanted Spider-Man to display the strength that he's supposed to have. He's supposed to be that strong now. Then have him be that strong. Cause when I first saw that car coming, I thought he was gonna catch him, like barely stop it or something. But I was like, wait a minute, you stop a train? But he go bend. So I love that he just straight up just punched that shit and went flying. He went flying out the damn window. Oh, I love that. But I like this. I do like it, and I hope it does well. Now I am starting to. Because before I was like, this movie, because people was kind of worried about this overshining the other movies doing, because I guess it's coming around the same time as like Aquaman, Mary Poppins. I know Alita Battle just moved, I think to February the 14th or something like that. Bumblebee, that Holmes and Watson movie, and there's another movie coming out. I think Welcome to Marvin or something. It's some shit. But I know people. Me too. I was kind of like, this movie is gonna do well enough because it's a Marvel movie. Well, it's association, it's a Sony movie, but it's Spider-Man. Like, come on. And now you bring it's a Spider-Man verse. You got a bunch of different Spider-Man that anybody. Cause I don't like Miles Morales, but they kind of have. But they have Peter Parker in there, an older Peter Parker. Depends on whether you like high school or adult Peter Parker. Or they got Spider-Gwen, or they have Spider Noir in here, or Spider Pig, whatever. You can kind of grab onto whoever you want. It's kind of like the X-Men. Like you can grab onto your favorite one, like I like this one, so you will watch it. So, but I was kind of like pushing this out. Like, it'll do fine, but I'm not worried about it taking away a lot from those other movies, especially like the superhero thing. Like I would say, I would kind of put Bumblebee in the same category as, or looking for the same demographic as going to grab the same demographic as like Aquaman. But now I'm like, I don't know. They might have a little bit of work. And I think I read recently that Deadpool is now. The PG-13 one is that, which I think is gonna be like a joke movie. Like it's gonna they're gonna be pointing out like, wait a minute, it's PG-13. They're gonna like probably bleep stuff out. It's gonna be like a joke type thing. And now that's there. They moved that in December. I'm not sure if it's the same week, but still, it's in December. And if it's not the first week of December, then it can really affect those other movies. And people will go see that because it's Deadpool 2 is PG-13, and like I said, especially if it's a joke, like which I think it is, I'm pretty sure it's like a joke type movie. And now that's in there. So, and now I think this can play a big significant role, but in fighting for the box office supremacy. But we'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Maybe Bumblebee will come and just crush everybody. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate y'all watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. How do y'all feel about it? Y'all like it? Do y'all even care? Is it because it's not? Maybe it's not connected to the MCU. You don't care. Maybe you're not really into the animated type stuff, so you just, I don't give a fuck. But let me know in the comments. Converse amongst yourselves. And I'll see y'all later. Peace out.